be on here. Like, gosh, I'm not usually a virtual person, Gabby, so you've managed to persuade me to come on here, but it's a pleasure, man.
So pleasure, so pleasure.
You know what? I mean, graduated from university in 2014, studying a degree in coaching and sports science. I mean, working in the sports science environment and trying to get into strength and conditioning, it can be quite competitive. And it actually took me a year of working full-time outside the industry until I actually got my opportunity via AFC Bournemouth, where I did my internship there. So I did my internship there for about 10 months, which I learned a lot in regards to working from the foundation phase into the academy phases. And I was working with Ben Bradley with the youth team there. And during my time there, it just made me realize how much of a vast support network there were in within obviously the academies, the youth football with regards to sports science. And at the time, I was advised to obviously work with semi-professional players just to get some more coaching experience, which I did work with Bashley Football Club. And when I actually went to do that experience, I realized that obviously when I'm communicating with the coaches, especially the players, with regards to strength and conditioning, nutrition, recovery, those kind of things, their knowledge was actually quite limited. So straight away, I kind of recognized a service that was required at that level. So from that, really, I just decided to start up the company, really, and provide sports science services to those who don't have an environment, which was obviously at the time semi-professional environment. So yeah, that was the reason for the company started, really, and yeah, just been pushing on since then, really. Yeah, so I mean, initially when I obviously started the strength and conditioning services, and it still is just obviously myself providing that particular service, I still wanted to obviously target the other support services within sports science, so the likes of obviously nutrition, which is very important, physiotherapy, as well as psychology, psychotherapy services, to give that what we call the holistic approach to all the athletes. So actually a good friend of mine, Mike Mantle, he's actually my best friend. So we've been working together, well, we've been friends for like the past 20 years. He actually dominates the nutrition area. He's been a nutritionist and a PT for the past 10 years, I believe now. So I mean, with regards to recruiting him on board to help with the company and work with the company, it was just an easy decision, really. So when it comes to obviously clients requiring that particular service, he's like my go-to guy. And I mean, Jordan obviously has had personal experiences with Mike for the past year or so. So which, yeah. So yeah, so with regards to obviously the physiotherapy services as well, we've got Paul Diggins, who actually works with the company as well. So I mean, the people that I've actually recruited to actually help push the business forward are people that I've actually worked with and I'm actually close friends with as well. I consider them as friends as well. So it's more or less was an easy decision, and they're all committed people as well, which is good to see. And obviously, as you just mentioned, most recently work with sports psychotherapy services to add that additional service to help support athletes perform at the highest level, really. So yeah, it's all about pushing all the services in one, really.
Yeah, so basically, since I feel like since I've been working with Dwayne and Mike's performance, physically, I feel like I've improved a lot, even in my strength, my agility, my movement, weight loss, and also, as Dwayne mentioned earlier, I also have worked with Mike, who's a nutritionist, so which basically he's helped me throughout this whole period of time where I've had to sort of kind of try to get in a better shape to better myself on the pitch and basically just feel better in general. And yeah, it's been very, very beneficial to me. I can see the results physically, mentally, and obviously I can see the results on the pitch as well. And especially because throughout this quarantine time where like all this stuff has happened, it's been good to have like a program set by people that are have like expertise in it to give you and for you to follow, which you know that if you do the things that you're asked to do, you will get the results that you require. So yeah, it's been very good for me. To say the least, that has helped me a lot, to be honest. Especially with all like everything that's included in the package and the training sessions, the nutrition side. If you combine all together, you're bound to get results, which I've obviously benefiting from now.
Yeah, just touching upon what Jordan was saying, it's more or less, I mean, Jordan can vouch for this as well, is we have a close communication network as well. So we more or less, I'll send Jordan a particular program, etc. And once I've sent that program to Jordan, I'll say to Mike, okay, this is his program. And then Mike, with that information, Mike can actually do what he needs to do with regards to the nutrition side of things and obviously communicate that to Jordan. So we've always got that three-way conversation happening at the same time, so everyone's on the same board. I think that's how the best results are achieved, really, just constant communication and integration. So yeah, just wanted to touch up on that.
At the start, it was very dull, but then, you know, I tried to look at it in a positive way because obviously during the season I had like a few niggles here and there, like a little injury, stuff like that. And, you know, I thought this quarantine could go two ways for me. So either I do something productive and come out of it, you know, benefiting from something, or I just relax at home and chill and hope not, you know, stay in between. And working with Dwayne and Mike, you know, Dwayne will constantly try and get hold, like, will text you, get hold of you, trying to tell you like what to do and stuff like that. Just a little extra motivation for me to like sort of do things outside for my own. So basically I had a few programs set for me to do at home, so I kept busy with that. So I didn't really, in the weirdest sense possible, this quarantine has actually helped me physically to get fitter than I was when I was actually playing. So
you're the only one, Jordan. I've seen that a lot of a few players. You're not the only one, man.
Yeah, so basically for me, the strangest thing, this is strange for me because usually when I get a break before, like I start working with Dwayne and Mike and Max Performance, when I get a break, I forget that I even play football. I usually take a lot of time not training or doing anything that will help me in any time. So I usually just think when pre-season comes, it comes. I'll just deal with whatever I have going on at that time. But obviously this time around, I thought about it the other way around. And obviously, you know, trained outside of it, hoping that eventually when I do get to pre-season, I'm already flying. And if whatever other things I can add on during that pre-season would help me even get better and better as the season goes on. Also, one more thing I wanted to touch on is just that. So basically, obviously, we're speaking about doing me working with Max Performance and stuff like that. It's just I have learned more, like in terms of what I require as a athlete than what I knew before. Because obviously before, I know, like right now, I know what type of body that I have, so I know what type of game that I need to play. You know, I'm not the type to run like Ngalo Kante, but I'm the type of guy that will, you know, I can run past 3-4 players with power and pace. That's the type of guy I am. And working with Dwayne has helped me develop that side of myself and also improve the other side of me, which is like lacking stamina and stuff like that. So yeah like aerobic endurance stuff, I'm going strong at it. You know, pace, strength. Let's not go there.
I think even like with us, Jordan, as well, like just obviously Gabby just touched upon it, like during obviously the isolation period working with Jordan, it's more or less, especially when we started to do our one-to-ones again, it was more or less like a self-education thing, isn't it? So in terms of even whether it's myself or it's Mike, it's more or less we're always given a reason of why we're doing certain things. So even with the nutrition, it's like, okay, Jordan, you need to be eating this amount of, whether it's carbs or protein post-meal because of this. Okay, the reason we're doing this type of technical session for your acceleration is because of this. And because he's got that understanding from that, his application just improves straight away. So I think now, more or less, Jordan understands both the strength and conditioning element and the nutrition, etc. So he knows how to conduct himself going forward now, with regards to how his body is, how his body's going to adapt, and how he feels, etc. So yeah, it's been good. It's been good to watch and work with him, to be fair. I think for myself, it's proved my coachability in terms of my adaptability as a coach. So obviously during the isolation period of 8 weeks, obviously my main strength is working one-to-one with people. Obviously that was removed for about 8 weeks. So it's more or less, I had to ask myself the question of how can I still keep the players that I'm working with engaged without actually seeing them? And it was more or less, for me personally, it was more or less having a routine set in place. So it's okay, we've got a week schedule now. All right, so who, at the time, I think I was working with about 3 or 4 athletes during isolation period. It was more or less providing a timetable for those particular athletes as well that is actually not going to remove them from the usual routine. So it's kind of making the isolation period as normal as possible. So for regards to Jordan, I know Jordan plays trains twice a week and plays one game on a weekend, on a Saturday maybe, or even on a Tuesday. So it's more or less, okay, could we put a program in place that he's actually continuing that routine as well as working on the other physical areas and weaknesses around that as well. So yeah, it allowed, I think on a personal note, it allowed me to be more in tune and more engaged with the people I was working with. Because obviously, as you well know, during the isolation period, mentally, it does have an effect on people. And then even I can admit for myself, had an effect on me for the first 2 weeks. And obviously, I call that an adjusting period. But once I was able to adjust to that period, yeah, I was able to help a lot more people get through their period as well. So yeah, it was a testing time. But I think myself, I don't know about Jordan, but I've come out the other side, me personally, a better person, a better coach as well. In all honesty, Gabby, reflecting back and looking back now, no one really knew how long we were going to be in isolation for. You see what I'm saying? So our final game during that period was actually Shrewsbury away, where we had a last minute winner and we actually won that game. So after that, that's when obviously things started to go into like a lockdown period. So even then we thought, oh, okay, this is going to be maybe say a couple of weeks, 3 weeks, maximum 4 weeks. But then more or less, when we got into obviously the 4-week period and obviously watching the news, assessing how the virus is spreading, we knew that, oh gosh, this is actually, it's a serious business this. So it's more or less, I mean, that's coaching stuff. We all came together and obviously we all obviously put a plan out, etc. And it was more or less providing that information for obviously the players just to obviously keep themselves going during that period, really. But again, as I said, with regards to obviously the strengths that it brings from that period, I think collectively we just, as people during that period, we just came together a lot more, and everyone was a lot more closer. People were just obviously engaging one another, whether it was virtually, a lot more, and then it was more or less coming together during difficult periods to hopefully bring everyone across to the other side. So that's what it was really during that period. So it was good to be part of that. It was good to finally get to the other side, and obviously now. The hard work that we put in now, we've obviously got the playoff games coming up, so fingers crossed it'll be worth it as well. I think like everyone else, whether working in sport or any walks of life really with regards to the virus, just made everyone a lot more cautious about what they were doing. So for example, from a hygiene purpose now, I mean, I'm sure you're aware, everyone walks around now with a mask just to protect other people now as well. You've got distancing rules that happen now, and it's just made everyone a lot more aware of obviously the spread of viruses and germs and all those things, and it's actually improved everyone's hygiene, and it's allowed people just to be a lot more healthy as well. So I'm seeing a lot of people doing a lot more exercising out and about when they had the time to as well, exercising as well, obviously with different methods, whether it's virtually, but it's I think from what I've seen, it's been more or less people have been able to adjust their life and hopefully improve their life for the better, coming back into normality now. Well, for us anyways.
So basically, we are into the semi-finals already because we finished the season as in third position. So basically, within that means second and third go to the semi-final automatically. So basically, we'll play 2 games at most. So it's going to be semi-finals and final. That's us. But in terms of how I feel going into these games, physically I feel ready. Mentally I'm ready too. It's just obviously you need to get the technical side of it, sharpen the game, because it's been a while. It's been 3 months since we've played a game or any sort of matches at all. So that's what we're working towards really at this at Weymouth. But I feel like obviously I feel confident in my team. I feel confident in my players. I feel confident in my ability. And also I believe that we have a real chance at this. But once again, honestly, the players are up and down. It just really depends. Like someday it could be someone else's day. Someday it could be someone else's day. You can never tell. Playoffs is just playoffs. But we're hoping that with what we have as a team will hopefully push us to go and get the wins that we need to get and the results that's needed, really.
Even Gabby gave me a headache of how to work with him. Even Gabby, it's more or less whatever I was working with. So, how do you want me to prepare you? Like, what position do you actually like playing? And he told me, we'll do this then. Oh, so many positions, man, so many.
So my preferred position, I'll say it's number 8, number 6. Somewhere like in midfield, number 8 or 6. But I can also play as a left winger, right winger, right back, left back. As I've played like
10,
the last few seasons.
Centre back.
But also I've played centre back as well in my younger days. Like when I was in college, I played centre back for my college team. I played a few games centre back for England schools as well. And I'm pretty sure I played up front for my school team too, and I scored a few goals, to be honest. But yeah, honestly, to me, it's like I don't really think about the positions. If I get put in a certain position, I just try to do my best, and learn as much as I possibly can, because I believe that whatever position you play on the pitch, that whatever you learn in that game, you can take it to your preferred position. It doesn't matter, because if you're centre midfielder, it doesn't necessarily mean that you stand in the middle of the pitch. You can go and run where left backs run. You need to learn how to defend 1v1s, and all of that playing as a left back has actually helped me improve in that sense of like being able to defend 1v1s and like learning how to like when I'm running at pace, slow my feet down and all them stuff. And also playing as a winger, taught me how to beat players 1v1s, which will be helpful for me if I take into midfield, because at that point, if I can beat someone and then defend myself 1v1, then it only benefits me better and my team. So yeah, I can cover a lot of positions, to be precise, to be exact with you. A favorite goal. What are we talking in general? Or are we talking away?
Oh, that's on the spot, Gabby. I love that. On the spot. Love it. I love it, Gabby. Run with it.
If we're talking Weymouth, it's probably going to be away at Hendon. I think I came on that game. I just came back from an injury and we were 1-0 down. And I came on, I played a 1-2 out wide and it cut inside and then had a shot. Like, I don't know how far it was, but it's quite far away. And scored and we went on to win 2-1 that game. So I think that'll probably be my favourite goal. It was a great feeling. It was a great feeling, to be fair. It was one of my favourite goals. So yeah, it was a great feeling. It's nice to come on and be the change that you expect it to be,
You've had a few, haven't you?
Yeah, I've had a few.
You've had a few still. Yeah, you've had a few.
I think probably winning the Southern Prem must have been the highlight so far. In terms of obviously, it was a long season and we wanted to get promoted, and we've been wanting that throughout. Like, it's been a long time for Weymouth to get promoted, so to do it that season was, personally, it was great. And I feel like it's either that or winning the centenary shield with England schools. Yeah, so
big one now.
Yeah, I think those two are quite precious in my heart in terms of football.
Yeah, so our first leg playoff is against Portsmouth this Friday. And we've got a second leg playoff it's actually a week today. And in a couple of weeks' time, touchwood, if we do get to the final, will be the 13th of July at Wembley. It's been good in terms of preparation. So we've been back fully for the past, I'll probably say 4 weeks. Initially, obviously, due to the government guidelines, players were only allowed to train individually for a sustained period of time. And they were allowed to train in groups of, say, 2s. And then obviously as the guidelines improved, started going to smaller groups and before we actually progressed into what we're doing now, which is collective training in large groups. But it's been more or less, it's been a challenge in terms of obviously now, because of obviously the lockdown situation and kind of continuing the season, we've been playing now continuously for about 12 months now. So the boys have not really had a break mentally. So even though it was the isolation period, have they been, were the boys switched off mentally? Whether they knew that obviously we may have playoffs, we may be starting the season again, we just didn't know. So mentally, the boys have not really had that type of break. So it's more or less, being back for about 4 weeks now and obviously preparing for this Friday's game. So it's just obviously a couple more training sessions, putting into place the final touches. And as Jordan said earlier in the interview, it's just more or less who's available for the day and who's obviously ready to perform on the day. And then, fingers crossed will be us really to progress onwards, Yeah, I mean, physically, I'll say so physically because I mean, as we would do during the pre-season period anyways, we would always conduct physical tests just to see where the players are and obviously individualize our training and programs as much as possible. And we've actually done just that. So it's, the aim is obviously to, as you just said, Gabby, is to have everyone physically peak at the same time. And I think we're on course to doing that. So fingers crossed. Yeah, looking forward to. It's a good experience for myself as well. It's my first time being involved in playoff style games, working in professional football for obviously my second year. So I'm enjoying the challenge that obviously this year has brought so far with regards to the isolation period and how now we're going into playoffs and obviously finishing the season. I think it was fourth in the end due to obviously points per game system. So it's been an eventful year and I'm just enjoying the challenge that just keeps getting thrown at me. So It's going to be so different. It's going to be so different because obviously you understand, especially in playoff games, your the home advantage with regards to having a solid home crowds. Actually, we call that the 12-man effect. So it kind of drives the players on the pitch to even, you see what I'm saying, to perform even at a greater level. So now that's actually been removed. I mean, Jordan can tell you that as a player, not even myself. Even I'm feeling when I'm sat there on the bench and you're hearing the fans roaring, like you feel, even as staff members on the bench, we feel something. So the players must feel even something greater. So to have that removed for these playoff games, well, obviously for health reasons, etc. It's going to be strange to start with, but I think it's the team who adjusts to the different circumstances quickly will be the ones to obviously dominate the game and hopefully progress onwards. So it's again back to the challenge. It's going to be testing times, but it's something that we have to adjust to, and I'm sure Portsmouth will be doing the same, preparing the right way. Yeah, I mean, Gabby just touches on that. I work at work. I work with a host of people with major experiences. So even my colleague Chris Shaw, who's been in the game, he used to be a player for I think about a good 15 years. He's actually been working at SNC for the past, I think, 20 years. So it's just nice for me to have a mentor like that where I can literally bounce ideas with him. And it's more or less we sit down every single day. We've been talking on the phone every day, coming to decisions on how we can progress the boys onwards. And obviously working with Carl Robertson, Derek Fasical, as well as Wayne Brown and Amy and Nathan and all, the whole support team around the first team. It's just nice to learn from people that are more experienced than me. So I'm fortunate to be in an environment where I'm just literally picking people's brains and having these various discussions and basically adapting my own ideas and coaching philosophy on a day-to-day basis. So I think it's very important.
That one is tough. I'm always positive about when it comes to my team because I feel like we have everything that we need in our dressing room to succeed at whatever game we're playing. So I can't predict the result for you, unfortunately, but I can say that I fully back my team to come through these challenges.
Jordan, have you been told you're playing yet?
We're playing against Dorking or Bath because they're playing against each other in the quarters, and then whoever wins, that's who we face.
Right. Okay.
So, good teams, very good teams. Dorking's quite a good side. They play good football. I think I've played against Bath once. It was a very tight game. Not really much into it, but obviously with playoffs, something has to happen eventually.
Yeah, anything can happen.
Something has to happen. You can't sit back. So we'll see. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. it will be an amazing achievement if we can do it two years in a row. So yeah, I'm very excited about it. I'm looking forward to it.
This one, Gabby, man. Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Looking forward to it. Fingers crossed it'll be a big month across July for obviously myself and Jordan. So yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Definitely. No, I appreciate it, Gabby, man. Thank you very much for today. And yeah, but I've enjoyed it. I don't know about you, Jordan, but this has been.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
We're not usually. It's been fun. We're not usually the types to get on a camera like this, is it? So it's been fun.
It's been fun. It's been fun. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
I appreciate it, Gabby. Thanks for having us, man. Thanks, Gabby. Take it easy. See you in a bit, Jordan, man.
Bye.
Bye.